Now, I haven't pre-thought of any of my answers to today's video, but I just got that feeling that when it comes to it, this might be one of our top scoring inverts, at least so far. Hello and welcome back to Bug Realms. On this channel we like to discuss all things creepy crawly, so if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing to the channel. So today folks, we are here with another top invertebrate video, this one being top beetle, and the one featured, as you would know before you've clicked this video, would be the blue feigned death beetle, or its scientific name Asbolus verrucosus, or something along similar lines. So this is the enclosure that we have our blue feigned death beetle in. Now again, if you didn't watch the previous one and you might be wondering why I'm here, we are going through a realm furb. Make sure to check that video out so you know exactly why I'm actually just sat on my bed for probably the next fair few of these videos. So we'd like to start off with a backstory. Now I did originally have two blue feigned death beetles. One of them did pass away. Now these guys are practically immortal, right? They are so hardy. So the one that passed is most likely just an old beetle. These are wild caught specimens. We're not going to go into how to captive breed these guys because it's very, very difficult and there's only a very few amount of people that have ever succeeded. Hence why they come in wild caught. So yeah, we are down to one beetle, and I bought this, I believe, at my first BTS. I could be wrong on that, but it was definitely in one of the shows where I bought the two. And I just love them. I love these guys. I'm pretty sure it was my first BTS. Almost certain of it. And yeah, so that's a fair few years ago now, and we've still got one going strong. Beautiful little beetle. So we're going to start off then with, let me check what categories I wrote down to do for beetles because I can't quite remember. I think we're always going to have appearance coming in these videos because I love to talk about the appearance of the animals. So beetles, we're going to talk about appearance, as I said. We're still going to do visibility because there's a lot of beetles that hide away. Cost, size, because obviously there's so many different sizes of beetles, and then uniqueness, because I think there are a lot of bog standard looking beetles, but then there are a lot of beetles with really fascinating, unique either behaviours or appearances, and I just thought that would be a cool one to add. So starting off with appearance of the blue feigned death beetle. Well, as you can see, it's a beautiful blue colour. Now these guys tend to darken when there's humidity around, so if you have a water dish or anything like that, they do tend to darken up, and they'll stay a lot brighter blue when they're in their warmth and bone dry conditions. Now these guys like bone dry conditions, but since rehousing this one there was a little bit of soil in with the sandy substrate that might have had a bit of moisture, so there's a few darkening spots on that beetle, but as soon as that fully dries out it will go to a brighter blue. I also personally think that temperatures have something to do with it too, because when I first bought these beetles from that BTS, by the time I got them home they were really dark blue all over, almost like they've been covered in water. In about 3 days they were back to their normal healthy lighter blue. And obviously taking them back then I had no one to drive, so I came back on a train. It was getting to the evening, so it was a bit colder on that trip on the train, and that's why I think temperatures may have something to do with it too, but not 100% sure on that. So anyway, the main point that we should have been talking about is their appearance. They've got this like really solid armoured body. They're also known as ironclad beetles. These guys will survive any kind of like puncture coming their way. If they were attacked by an animal with fangs, if it was a small enough animal, it won't penetrate that. A stinger of a scorpion is not going to penetrate that. They are proper rock solid, blue, beautiful little gems, and I think that they are amazing looking. So if I had to rate it though, I think I'm going to give them, in comparison to beetles, I think I'm going to stick with an 8 out of 10 on these guys, and the reason I've chosen an 8, quite a high solid number, is because that vibrancy of that pastel blue coloration isn't something you really see in beetles, at least not in my experience of being a keeper or being somebody out in the wild having a look in the UK. So that waxy pastel blue coating on the beetles is just absolutely amazing. I like their kind of the way they move. I like so much about the look of these beetles. Admittedly, they're not any kind of striking colour, they don't have weird patterns or anything like that, but I like this basic but beautiful appearance, and that's why it scores an 8 for me. So we're going to go on to visibility now, and I am going to hit mine again straight off with you guys on another 8 out of 10. And why am I supposed to do it that way? I don't know, who cares, right? 8 out of 10, because I see mine all the time. Now, this looks like a small enclosure, and it is, but it's fine for one beetle. But this guy has actually lived in an enclosure this large, still saw him all the time. He's lived in the coffee table enclosure when it used to be a beetle, and we're talking then 70 centimeters by 70 centimeters, big enclosure, still managed to catch him all the time. And when he wasn't out and about, it was so simple. I just lift up a piece of bark, a hide, and there he is, straight there. So when he is hidden, he's still so easy to find that it would take me 10-15 seconds and there he is in my sight. Visibility, scoring an 8. Really cool. So now cost. I know exactly how much these guys cost. £16 each they were. I think at the shows they were doing them for £15, but generally buying these are about £16, and I normally would get them from the Spider Shop. I think that's the biggest place most people will pick these up from in the UK. So £16, it's not a lot of money, but again, it's not super cheap if you want to get a bunch of these guys. Like if you wanted to experiment with breeding and you wanted, say, 10 of these guys, then the price seems a lot. £160 to have 10 beetles walking around. You know, when you could buy a pack of mealworms, get some darkling beetles, and you could have 100 of those for £1. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go with a 6 out of 10. A 6 out of 10 on cost for these, because they're not cheap if you want a bunch of them, but if you're just looking for one little happy beetle, £16 is not a lot of money, guys, and they'd be great for children as well, in my personal opinion. So next we're going to go on to size. What can I say about size? I'm going to hit these guys at a 4. I think we're going to go for a 4 for size of these guys. There are plenty of a lot bigger, chunkier beetles out there, but there are also a lot of tinier beetles out there. But then in the hobby, we don't really keep smaller beetles than this, apart from maybe a few small darkling beetles. Unless you do, let me know in the comments below if you do. So now we're going to go on to the last category, which is uniqueness. Now I chose uniqueness because of the massive variance within different kinds of beetles, right? Stag beetles, for example, you can see straight off in the appearance of stag beetle that it has that unique look, but you compare it to other stag beetles, it would not necessarily look as unique anymore. But it's not always about appearance. So although these do have that, as I said before, waxy pastel blue coloration, which is pretty unique, it's also their behavior that's unique, guys. These guys, if you haven't guessed it from the name, play dead. Yes, that's right. You pick them up, they pretend they're dead. What a defensive behavior. I don't know how that really benefits. Is it perhaps predators that only want to catch live prey and they see it dead and don't want it? I don't know. Because a lot of animals in the deserts would probably scavenge, so I'm not entirely sure why. If somebody knows the reason why their feigning of death would work in the areas they're from in the world, let me know. But I love it, and that's another reason it would be great for kids. It will get them over kind of fears and things. They can, how would this animal take it out, and it'll be like and the enclosure has disappeared. Why? Because I actually finished this video and forgot to even score uniqueness. Foolish man. Yes, so the scoring for uniqueness, I'm going to hit these guys off at a 9 because of that wonderful feigned death ability and of course the coloration I keep on talking about. Now I'm going to skip back into the video and carry on my jibber jabber. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for this video. I wanted to just go through all of those categories with you, and it's the first time we are doing beetles, and it might well be the only one. It is now currently, aside from a few darkling beetles, the only beetle in the Bug Realms collection. Now, we did have Egyptian predatory beetles. They have finally all passed away. Again, they're another animal that we don't captive breed, so they're wild caught. We don't know how old they are, but I had these for quite a long time before they passed. So yeah, it'll be sad that I can't do a video on them unless I get my hands on any more. I do thoroughly enjoy them, so we might well do. So guys, if you want to see other things that I have covered in the top invertebrate videos, please go and check out the playlist. It will be in every description of these videos coming up now. For once, I'm sticking to doing my playlists and I'm doing a damn good job. So yes, please share these about if you don't mind. Tell your friends about them, because these are personal touch videos. These aren't those videos out there to slate people. They're not out there to go, this is the correct way to do everything. These are personal keeping experience videos. So you may well learn something from me as a keeper rather than learn it from somebody on YouTube that just tells you that's the way, because all stories that I talk about here come from my personal keeping experience, and I think that's what's really important. I mean, no doubt I would have done something wrong along the lines in some of these videos and people can correct me, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But I just think that personal touch is something really good to learn by. Oh, one more thing before I go. You will see this enclosure again, because there is another inhabitant in it. You could probably guess what it is, maybe by some other people's videos perhaps, but we'll leave that one to the future. So there we go, that's it. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you in the next video. Take care, bye bye. Do you guys want to see what else dwells in the realm? If so, make sure to pop back weekly for multiple videos. My usual upload days are Wednesdays and Sundays, so I'll see you guys there. Oh, and one more thing. If you want to become a disciple of the realm and have your name shown on the screen like these lovely people, you can do so in one of two ways. You can scroll down the screen now and hit that join button next to the subscribe to be a channel member. Or alternatively, you can follow my link in the description below to my Patreon page. Both methods grant you access to my private Facebook page, where we like to discuss even more things creepy crawly. Thanks for watching guys, I'll see you in the next one. Take care, bye bye.